All right, let's see. Is my mic working? Um, Super late start. I'm still not even ready to start. I'm just finishing up final bits for work. So super late. Hopefully you can't hear the music I'm listening to either. Um, hey Des, mic's working. Okay. Hopefully you can't hear any music. Let me know if you can. There should be no music. Yeah. This will I'll be on camera in just a couple minutes. I'm just finishing up last bits of what I need to do for to turn in work. Um, I don't like to be I hate to be late in general, but I also hate to what's it called? Be late with work. Or rather, I refuse to be late with work. I will not miss a deadline. Can't hear music. Okay, that's good. I don't have my I don't have my earbuds in, and I'm worried that the sound leak will be enough to, mess things up for me. It's happened in the past, but this mic is a little more sensitive, so hopefully it's fine. All right, just I'll be done in just a minute. Oh wait, need to. mm, yeah, this, yeah. Oh, that is no wonder that's messed up. Okay. Um, okay, there we go. Had to do something I almost never need to do. Anyways, take your time. I'm going to get no worries, Des. All right, there we go. Okay, just sending the file now, and then I'm all done. Or we'll be in just a second. I hate being late like this. All right, let me get my camera gear all set up while I'm waiting for my computer. All right, there we go. OBS. Oh, that's great. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew, I was worried that my camera wasn't going to work because it wasn't actually working for a second. That was a little concerning. All right, looks like my painting camera is working. All right, and I think I'm done with work. Ooh. All right, earbuds. Okay. Make sure all my sound stuff is still working. Okay, that's working. That's working. Alrighty. Uh, transition. Hey, there we go. Okay, that worked. Ooh, rough start today. Hope everyone's having a good night. Let's switch to face cam. Okay, cool. Hey, everyone. All right. All right, let's get. Just need to get Photoshop up and I can start painting. In the meantime, I'll just be my disheveled self on camera. I worry sometimes that people are going to think that like I always wear the same shirts all the time, not realizing that or think that I don't shower or something, not realizing that I have specific clothes I generally wear for painting because I don't mind getting those ones dirty. uh, all right, there we go. Photoshop's up. All right. References up. Righty. I need something to hold my hair back. But yeah, like I use the same, like I'll wear something, I'll wear one shirt throughout the day, and then when it's time to paint, I switch out to, like my painting gear. Because I thought about getting an apron for like a painter's apron or something, but I couldn't find any good ones that I was going to be happy with, and I was a little worried that it would just be too hot as well, like temperature wise. So, all right. And let's see if this works today. Hey, oh, that's not working. I figured out how to do hotkeys. So that's exciting. I just have to reset my face cam. There we go. Oh, welcome back, Laura. Congratulations, Des, by the way. I forgot to, I said it on Discord, but congratulations. That's really cool. I'm congratulating Des because Des just shared that they got a commission. So that's really cool and well deserved. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the commission is not to paint a cabbage, because that would be sad if it was. So, hoping that's not the case. It's for viewers, it's a running joke because of recent events. That's all. All right. All right, let's see what the state of my painting is today. I'm guessing everything's dry at this point, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It's to do a family pet. Oh, that's awesome. All right, that's right. This will be the eh, mostly dry. All right. Yeah, whatever. That is not dry at all. Wow, okay. Some of it's completely dry, some not so dry. I'm gonna oil out just the main figure because that's gonna be my focus today. So I'll just do that. And then if I spread out, I'll oil out wherever else. So one of the things, one of the problems, one of the pitfalls, I should say, that people sometimes run into when taking commissions, and it's any kind of commission, family, of course. Hold on, let me. What? Huh? Hey, what just happened? My camera just. No, it's not manual focus. What? I did not. Okay. I don't know why. My camera switched to manual focus all of a sudden. It's just like, what is happening? Okay. All right, there we go. Anyways, one of the main pitfalls of commissions, but not just commissions. This is any portraiture. really. But the reason it comes up in commissions a lot is because of price, right? And one of the main pitfalls is size. Painting people or animals for that matter and getting the likeness correct and everything is very challenging in general. Like that's a challenging thing to do. But you can set yourself up to fail if the size is wrong. And what I mean by wrong, I just mean like a size that will make it more difficult. Because trying to get likeness on a figure that on a head that's like this big is really hard. So stuff like that. And the reason it comes up more in commissions is because people cheap out and don't want to pay for. I had too much white on my brush already. They just don't want to pay for it. Which I mean, I understand, but I'm just saying, like that is why it comes up with what's it called, commissions more than it, not more, but that's what one of the things to be cautious of. So, not that I'm saying that that's going to happen to you, Des. It's just a general conversation piece with like, you say as things come up, oh, some of her legs were still wet. Oh well. All right. Okay, let's see here. Oh, 1 second. Gotta respond to something. All right, there we go. I'm trying to remember who it was I was listening to recently, and they were talking about how they price their commissions for family members. Hold on a second. Des says, yeah, they want a 9x12 option, but I cropped the photo reference provided to bring it much closer. Yeah, that's good. 9x12 is a decent size. It just depends on how, like you said, how close you are to the subject, how much of it fills the space. But yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, I was listening to someone, to an artist. I can't remember their name right now. I literally have no idea. You ever have a recollection of something and you have no idea, like, who said it? Like, I have no recollection of the artist who said this. I just remember seeing or reading or listening to this. I don't even remember in what medium it was in. But regardless, they do portraits and commissions, and the way they handle like multiple members, like multiple people commissions, they don't raise their price per person. I know some people do that. Some people do it like one person's like, whatever amount. And then if you want more people, it's an added fee, which isn't a bad option. However, this person, what they do is they were just saying like, if you want more people, that's great. It needs to be a bigger painting then, because I'm not going to cram more and more people into the same size. So as the size increases, the price goes up, because a lot of artists price their work based off of dollar per square inch. By the way, in case anyone's listening and doesn't know that, a lot of artists, me myself included, have a per square inch price, and it's a little flexible in the sense that like as the size goes up, the dollar amount goes down a little, and as the size goes down, the dollar amount goes up a little. It's a sliding scale, just a bit to compensate for for how much work it actually is. Let's see. Des says the dog is very distinctive looking, so it won't be as hard to get the likeness. That's cool. You don't know the person who commissioned me. It's a friend. It's a friend of my daughter's. Oh, okay, cool. Got it. Got it. Normally, when I paint dark areas like this, I would use black for a lot of it. I'm not opposed to using black. I know some people are like, oh, don't use black. You use black. There's no reason not to use black, in my opinion. But in this exercise, we're not supposed to. So I have to basically mix my own black, which isn't that hard, honestly, if you have the right paints. And I'm not even going to go all the way black because I don't want to. So, yeah, not a problem. But that's really cool, Des. I'm really happy for you. That's really awesome. Uh, Work keeps messaging me. Okay, everything's all good. Uh, awesome. I have done what's it called? Painting experiments, I call them. Where I um each one's different, so I can't really say, but I've done a painting experiment comparing different blacks, uh black paints and how they mix with you know, how they mix and how they interact and everything. And I'll be honest, I don't really I didn't really find I didn't find actually any difference between a mixed black and a what's it called? Uh, you know, tube of black. Um, yeah, I mean, there are differences, but you know, that's like saying, oh, these two different pigments are different. Like, yeah, of course, there's going to be some differences, but nothing that would be like substantial or meaningful in any way. Des says I've had digital commissions before, just not paint commissions. Oh, that's great, Des. That's really cool. Uh, that's that's great. And I don't know if I meant if it sounded that way, but I didn't mean it to sound like I was like, oh, you've never done anything before ever. So no, not at all. I was just saying, I know the painting is a new one for you. I'm happy for you. That's great. I used to do um I used to take I don't know if commissions are the right word because I was essentially, comic book artist and illustrator. So like I took jobs, right? I don't know if commissions is really the correct term for that. Um, but yeah, I've done that in the past. Um, and I did one cover for an indie comic for a friend of mine in oil paint, uh, which was honestly, it was kind of challenging. I don't know. Not saying I'm opposed to doing it again, but you I learned a lot from it. I'll put it that way. Um, but yeah, I, I'm I'm lucky that I have a job at the moment, so I don't have to take commissions at the moment. like I'm not looking to take commissions. I don't have time for it. But I do want to make painting my full-time job, and I really don't want to take commissions. At least not in the traditional sense. I just don't. I don't want that. Uh, not that there's anything wrong with it. Like, I'm sorry if I'm coming off like that. It's more a thing of just like I started doing oil painting because I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted to do artwork that I wanted to do, and not not jobs. Like this was meant for that kind of thing. So so yeah. All right. So good on the value, right? But like bad on the color. Let me see if I can scoot in here correctly. No, wrong one. There we go. Hey. Laura says I don't want to rely on commissions. That's scary as hell. Yeah, I mean it can be. Some people will get into commissions and they'll be so in demand, it won't, you know, like they won't have the time to be scared. Um, you know what I mean? But I get it. It is scary. For me, it's not, like I said, it's not that not so much that I'm scared of it, although I agree it is scary. You don't want to be that reliant on it. But yeah. Um, yeah. All right. Let's see if I can mix a dark gray. It's extra challenging, unfortunately, to mix a dark gray. All right. Yeah. Now, ideally, well, okay, ideally, we'd all be. All right, let's take out the like fantasy stuff for a minute. So I was going to go into that realm, but no, ideally, you would like to have. For me, let me talk about myself. I'd like to make paintings, sell said paintings, and then also have a few other revenue sources connected to that, whether it be, prints, books, teaching, all that kind of stuff, right? Like theoretically, that's how I'd like to do things. Um, Laura says, I'm too something. Can't see it because of that stupid heart. And I also get creative blocks. Got it. I mean, look, it's definitely not easy. I've just been, and it's not for everybody, I've been working freelance essentially. I mean, right now I'm an employee, but even though I'm technically an employee right now, the project could end and then I'd be looking for another job. It's, television shows get canceled all the times, right? I'm not saying that I actually am worried about that right now. I'm not saying that that's, I'm not, there's no hints here about anything. I'm just saying theoretically, working in this industry, that's just the way it is, right? So even though I'm an employee, there's a lot of elements of like working freelance. And that's all to say that I've been working freelance for a very long time, um, you know, in my life. So I'm used to it. It's not good. I'm not saying that it's a good thing necessarily, but I'm more used to it than I'm more accustomed to it than I'd say maybe most people, put it that way. Okay. These colors are completely wrong. Let me scrape them off and fix it. So the problem I'm running into right now is this is the low key portion of the painting, and skin of a person who is, white is it there's no I can't really make that color very well, right? Like that's the problem. Yeah. It is low key, not single tone. So I do have a little more room than I'm giving myself here. Let's take advantage of that space. Add a little more yellow to it. There we go. Let's see. Okay. All right. That's good. It's maybe a little dead color. A little too much. Let's warm it up just a little bit. So something I've come across a lot with painting tutorials online and people talking about, you know, people talking about painting, I'll put it that way, that I never really understood. And maybe it's because like I for I don't remember what it was like learning how to paint. Like that could be, it's been a while. Um, or excuse me. Maybe it was just taught to me differently and so it wasn't like an issue or didn't stand out in the same way. I don't know. Like all to say though that I've seen online people ask or talk about like, you know, how to mix how to mix certain colors and how to mix skin tones and how to and all this stuff surrounding like color and I don't I don't understand what the issue is. And I don't mean to say this as like I I want it to be clear. I'm not trying to come off as like, "Oh, I'm so good at this. It's so easy or so not." Like I'm not trying to boast here. Um like I said, I might just not remember because it's been a long time. So maybe it was super challenging, um what's his name? Mark Carter has a great demo on how to mix paint on his YouTube channel on DrawMix Paint. Um, and he uses a primary color palette. It's not a real accurate one, but it's good enough. And the basics are there. It's just like, when you're trying to match colors, it's just, does it need to be lighter, darker, warmer, cooler, and you just kind of like mix around till you get there. Like, don't get me wrong, when you're first starting out, it's not easy to like get there quick. I don't think. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's so easy to do. But these weird things where people are asking for like formulas for like skin tones, I don't understand. I don't understand. Hey Don Lee, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Don Lee is over on Twitch in Twitch chat, and he is a friend of the stream. Also a fellow streamer on Twitch. Highly recommend checking him out. It's Don Leo on Twitch. Don Lee _O with 3 H's. How you been, buddy? What have you been up to? This is going to be challenging, I can already tell. It is coming along nicely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, the what's it called? High key figures obviously need some more work, but they are meant to be background characters, um, like by definition. So I'm not too worried about getting the details on them right. Or, I mean, yeah, basically, this is the challenge right here that I'm hitting right now. Donley is asking, oh, Des, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Don't want those ads. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's really sweet of you. What do I feel about the class so far? Okay, for anyone who's coming in or isn't familiar, this is for a class with Nicholas Uribe, who is an amazing painter, has become an influence to my art, literally like one of my painting influences in the last 5 years or so. So when he had a class, I jumped on it, and he has a YouTube channel called Our Painted Lives. Highly, highly recommend it. Very good stuff. Anyways, all to say that I'm taking a class with him. I was not the most thrilled with the class in the beginning, and that's not a criticism of him or his teaching. It's just I didn't like some of the exercises. That's all. Like I'll keep it up front. I didn't like him that much. But I learned a lot already, so I'm actually really, really happy with the class. And he is an amazing teacher. Like his insights on things are great. He's really, really good at it. Like I didn't even think it's one of those things that I wasn't really thinking about, but as it's come up, I've been very impressed. So yeah, so overall, really good stuff. Really good. Like I said, and sometimes the fact that you're not like the fact that I wasn't happy with some of the exercises just means that aside from the fact that I was complainy, which is true, um, it's kind of an indicator that like yeah, it's kind of pushing my buttons, right? Because like I didn't want to do those exercises because I didn't like them because so it's kind of pushing my buttons and kind of a good thing. Um, I can show it in a little bit. I what's it called? I did a self-portrait for the class. I finished it. I'm really happy with it. It was a very very challenging painting, and I learned a ton from it. So really good learning experience. And I'm happy with the painting as well. That is secondary when, you know, taking a class, right? Like getting a good painting out of it is definitely secondary to learning. However, I got both. So I'm really happy about that. I haven't posted the finished result yet online. I've been horrible about posting online lately. But I will be getting better at that. That is a goal this year, for sure. I have you need to post. I do need to post. I agree. What's it called? I was really trying hard to make some YouTube videos, and I failed miserably at that. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to try again, because I will. But I wasted so much time trying to get these YouTube videos done, and it was just such a failure. And that was um, very frustrating. Sorry, something felt like something was crawling on me, but yeah, it was very frustrating and very disheartening. You know, it's okay. I'm like, I hit my camera. Like it happens, right? You know, it is what it is. But yeah. Um, so kind of like wasted a bunch of time doing that. Um, Wasted a bunch of time on some other technical stuff. Although the technical stuff was only partially a waste, and I will get into that in a minute. And then, and now it's time to, you know, reassess, regroup, and try a different approach to things. Because yes, I need to keep posting, and I need to post videos. I really do. I need to post my paintings and stuff, but I also need to make videos. But yeah, I found a way to seriously reduce the workload of making what's it called? Time-lapse videos. And even if they're not time-lapse videos, any painting video, like any video like this where I'm like recording the painting process, I've found a way of reducing a lot of the not all, but a lot of the like grunt work of trying to cut out all the dead space. So yeah, that's exciting. Very, very useful. Like like the amount of time I would have to spend cutting, you know, in and out of things just to make it like, just as a starting point, like there's no editing involved, just basic cutting stuff was very difficult and very like made life very, very difficult. And I've found a way around that to a degree. I'm trying to find, like, I'm this close to finding the absolute solution to it. But if I can't, I still found a good workaround that does like a lot of the work. So it's exciting. I will be, and I will not keep this a secret. I will share this information with everybody. I'm not going to be like, oh no, trade secrets, you know. No. I'm going to be sharing this. First of all, I didn't come up with it. Like, it's stuff that's out there, but I've been able to find, you know, I've been able to find the resources that are out there and make it work, kind of thing. I think it's funny how like all the AI bros, like they call artists like elitists. They, well, not all, but I've heard this a lot. Artists are elitists, and gatekeeping, like keeping art behind skill is gatekeeping, kind of thing, like creation of art, like type of thing. But I think it's funny because like, so many artists I know, they share their process for free. They give away, you know, they do tutorials online. Like artists just give away their shit all the time. There's like no gatekeeping involved practically. Um, I mean, I'm not going to say there's not a single artist out there, but like, come on. That's such a disingenuous argument to make. All right, I need to switch to my main shot. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I might be going back and forth between the hemispheres and I don't have enough coverage. So I stopped using that plugin that I had that follows my mouse. That's how I was doing the zoom before. Um, but instead of doing that, um, I just have two different scenes that like crop in. Um, Des says, yeah, you won't see an accountant doing that. What, sharing their process and stuff? I wouldn't know. I'll be honest. Doing free tutorial? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that is too bright. But yeah, artists just give their shit away for free. Oh, you mean give their shit away for free? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, like people share a lot, um, like there's some lawyers I follow on YouTube and stuff. There are people that like just share information and like to do that. So I don't know why like the AI bros have it in their head that like this is something that like, oh, the artists are hoarding the, I don't even know what, like the knowledge of art somehow. The thought of it is just so silly. They're just grasping for words to attempt to make artists feel guilty for a process they aren't willing to spend the time to develop a skill for and want to condense the skill barrier into the button press. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's all. I mean, I agree. Overall, it's just BS, but I just think it's funny. But yeah, I'm disappointed in myself. It's okay. It's like, what can you do kind of thing. But I'm disappointed that I wasn't able to make those YouTube videos like I wanted. I tried. I really tried. I'm still gonna make videos. I'm just gonna have to change how I go about making them, honestly. I think what I might end up doing is I might end up doing um, either. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cough. Um, just kind of came out. I wasn't fast enough on the mute button. Yeah, I think what I might do is I might either do dedicated streams or I might dedicate a portion of my streams to talking about subjects that I want to make uh, videos about. And like not really worry about painting during that time and just like kind of, I don't want to say like, I guess just chatting essentially, right? So I don't know. That might be the way forward for me. We'll see. So the reason, like I said, I'll think about it. The reason for it is because like I could not make the YouTube videos, but I can talk clearly. I have no problem hanging out in chat, talking with people, and you know discussing things. The only issue is when I paint, I know that my speech is a little you know stunted, right? Because like I'm using so much, you know I'm focused on something else, so like my speech pattern's a little messed up. I'm a little I don't know, just it's not as smooth or as fluent, you know. I know even sometimes I've caught myself when I'm painting a little, I'll like mid word kind of drift off as I'm like focused on the painting. And then once I stop, it kind of kicks back in. Like buffering, right? Which I think is funny, but I don't think is good necessarily. Donnelly says, "Okay, I have a client meeting and have to leave." No problem. Good luck with your client meeting, man. I hope it goes well. And yeah, if I'm still here, you're welcome to come back, obviously. Des says, "What if you give one of us questions to ask you so that you can just talk as you paint and record it and save the video?" Yeah, that's kind of the idea, Des, only without providing you then it will be less scripted. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. And I didn't think about giving anybody the questions or the script or a script in any way for numerous reasons. One, I just didn't think I'd have anybody to like, you know, do that with, because I'm not going to be able to pay anybody or anything right now. And then the other thing was too, I'm not really up for like writing a script because that was also one of the areas I kind of like hit a snag on. But yeah, something kind of like that. Yeah. The general idea is there. It's just I have to figure out how to do it, basically, how to go about it. Like I said, I don't know if I want to do it while I'm painting or not because, you know, because of everything I just said, basically. However, it might be the best. Like it might be for the best if I rip what I'm saying and then, you know, edit it kind of. And then if I have to re-record a little portion, at least I will, you know, I'll have kind of the words already there and just have to re-record it. I tried to do that one time, what I'm talking about. Like I tried to grab audio from the stream and use it. And the thing I ran into was I'm too expressive when I talk, which and it's shocking to me as well. Um, but I'm too expressive when I talk, and I was like, you know, as I was talking about the subject, I was also like laughing and chuckling, and like my voice would go up and down a lot. And so when I cut out different parts of it, it didn't, it didn't work well, at least. So, because it's like I'll cut out, little sections, and then it's like I'm talking, and then suddenly just laughing while talking, and it doesn't quite make sense, stuff like that. Uh, but, hopefully I can also use some software to kind of stabilize my voice. And like I said, worst case scenario, at least I'll get the script for what I like need to say, like what I've already said, and I can just read it. Because that I can do. I can read. I can, narrate a script if I have one, right? But yeah, I don't know. I do, I do appreciate the thought. You're 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 in the right direction for sure. I feel bad like asking anybody to do this, because like I said, I don't feel like I can paint, pay, or provide anything in return necessarily. So I don't feel comfortable asking anybody to do it necessarily. So we'll see. Um, yeah. Des says, I'm here anyways. I can throw prompts. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That is very sweet of you. All right. Today's definitely not the day though. I'm so tired. Like I was working so hard to hit that deadline today. I did it, but like, oh man, rough day today. Brain is fried. But I do appreciate that, and I will probably take you up on that. I'm just not sure that today I'm gonna be good with words. This is actually kind of looking good. Let's see what it looks like in black and white real quick. That's not bad. The skirt is a little it's okay, let's see. Do I want to make the I feel like I have to kind of bring it more into harmony though. This okay, the skirt is either too dark or the rest of her is too light. So the question is which one? I feel like I feel, let's see. Actually, you know what? I think I have to average it between the two. Because if I bring the skirt up lighter to be as light as this, then this won't be a what's it called? This won't be a low-key painting, it'll be more mid, right? Because this feels more like a mid-gray. But if I bring everything down to the skirt, there's going to be no room for anything. You're not going to see anything. Because like I can barely see the tone differences here. You can't even see them right now, but I can. I'll show you in a minute. Um, yeah, like here, let's see. See, in the skirt, you can't even see it on camera, but there's lighter and darker areas here. And it's really hard to see. So yeah, I think I need to average it all out a little bit more. It's midnight here already. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I started late today, but what you gonna do? So yeah, so I need to bring the skirt up a hair, just a little bit. So, because I want to be able to see, I want to be able to see the different, parts of the skirt just a little bit. And but this all needs to come down in value. It's too light. It's too much like a mid-tone right now. So I need to bring it down just a bit more. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll probably go for another, I'll probably be painting for another half hour to an hour probably. Because I do want to get, like my quote unquote normal painting time in. I also want to, what's it called? Finish this painting, right? Not that I'm going to finish it today either way. Like, if I'm being realistic, there's probably no chance I'm finishing it today. But I do want to um, make a good dent in it. That's too bright. That's too light. Okay. And I am missing my black now because my black would just make this whole process of like getting the right value so much easier. I don't know if I've told this before. Gamblin, and not only Gamblin, other companies have this as well. It's a chromatic black. Gamblin specifically, every company does it with different colors. Um, Gamblin's chromatic black uses phthalo emerald or phthalo green yellow shade, however you want to look at it, and quinacridone rose. That's the mixture in it, right? Um, and it's a great black. It's kind of transparent because those colors are kind of transparent. But it's a great mixing black. It's pretty neutral, so it makes for a good black. Um, but I used it once on Yupo paper, and I used it as a like to tone the canvas. So I put down black, and then I grabbed a rag with some Gamsol, and just wiped it off to leave just like a darker tone on the canvas. as one does. Um, and it was so cool. So Yupo paper is ridiculously slick to work on, but it has a weird micro texture inside, like on it. So it actually, especially in the first, like when you first put paint down, it really grips. As soon as that texture gets saturated with paint, it does not grip anymore, and it's very, very slick. But it does have that texture there, and so when I wiped off the paint, uh, it was I don't know why this happened, but the paints separated a little, the pigments. Very, very little. Not, but it was really cool because it gave these like ghostly kind of like magenta and emerald like kind of smears on the canvas. All of it got covered up by the painting eventually, so you know, it's not really all that like it didn't mean anything, but it's really cool to look at. And it's really interesting, I thought. Um it's one of those things where I keep it in the back of my head as you know, as like maybe one day I'll figure out a way of using that on purpose in a painting. But yeah. Twisted Art Lady. You're my 200th subscriber? That's amazing. Thank you so much. What did you win? Just kidding. Hi from Texas. Hi from Texas as well. I'm in Austin, Texas. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. You do not win anything, unfortunately. But I welcome you to the stream. I take it you make art based off of your username. What kind of art do you do? Um, yeah, tell feel free to share as much or as little as you want. But yeah, that's really cool. If you're well, you're clearly new here. I don't know if you heard me talking about the painting earlier. I'm happy to go over it again. Um, you know, I know people come in and out, so yeah. You're you're a bit north of Waco. Oh, awesome. I'll be honest. I moved to Texas in 2018, and given everything that has happened, both in the world and also some personal stuff that happened with family members and so on, I have not explored Texas nearly as much as I should. So I'm not nearly as like knowledgeable to the geography. But yeah, you do acrylic pouring, but you paint with brushes too. That's really cool. I've seen some really cool acrylic pouring stuff. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff you can do with that. So that's really cool. Obviously, I paint more, you know, I paint more traditional, more towards like figurative art and stuff. So that is where my interests lie. But you know, I'm not. I think the pouring stuff can be really interesting. Yeah. I don't paint with acrylics though. I have in the past, and when I went back to try and use them again, I hated them. So I paint with oils. Uh, Although I think acrylics, oddly enough, like there's a lot of, you know, great advantages to them. I don't enjoy physically using them. I don't enjoy the process. Maybe they'll change one day with the right paints and the right process. So yeah. So if you didn't hear about this painting, I'm happy to talk about it a bit. I'm doing this for a class. There's a painter, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Nicholas Uribe. He's a really good painter. He has a YouTube channel called Our Painted Lives. And he's become one of my art influences over the years. And he teaches some online classes every once in a while. So when I've had the opportunity, I took it. And so this is one of the like homework pieces for it. Let's see. Twisted Art Lady says, I want to get into figurative painting more. You have very little experience. You're also just now forcing yourself to learn oils. Okay. Well, welcome. That's absolutely, that's fantastic. Oils are great. Des, who's in the chat as well, is getting back into oils and been having a bit of a hard time with it. But that's more of a frustration thing because the paintings that Des has been making have been really great. So they're getting frustrated, but getting good results regardless. But yeah, oils are great. I really enjoy painting with oils. The only thing I will say is if I don't know much about what's it called, painting. Like if I can give advice or talk about direct painting or alla prima painting, but if you want to do what's it called, indirect painting, or a lot of what's referred to as indirect painting, or a lot of glazing, stuff like that, I don't know much about that, and I also question if it's even a good thing to do with oils. I feel like it's actually better to use acrylics for that, because of how quickly they dry. Yeah. But if you want to do direct painting, I think oils are probably better than, I don't know if better, yeah, I'll say it. I think oils are better than any other medium when it comes to direct painting. Of course, paint, there's no, it's more just like what you enjoy painting with. If you prefer to paint with watercolors, paint with watercolors. There's none of them are better than the other in that sense. It's more like the process type of thing is what I'm referring to, if that wasn't clear. So yeah, check out Nicholas Uribe's channel, by the way. If you want to get into figurative painting, definitely check him out. He's so good. So good. Our Painted Lives on YouTube. Really good stuff. But yeah, so I'm taking his one of his classes, and the homework was to do a painting keyed to either high, low, or mid key, roughly wherever you want in that, like. So I decided to do both at the same time and make my life hard. So there's that. And then the other restraint on the homework was to use a primary palette of, yellow, red, and blue, essentially, and white, and that was it. This is actually my normal palette, but I usually have black to work with, and it's driving me crazy not having my black, but it's all right. You subscribe to him? Good. Yeah, he's worth it. Definitely worth it. Also super nice guy too. Like super nice guy. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's been a long day for me today. I'm a little burnt out and my brain is a little mush. So I apologize if I don't have like if I'm just out of it. I uh I work for Bento Box. I do storyboards for TV animation and I had a deadline today and I worked my ass off to make it in time, which I did. But I was late starting the stream because of that, and I'm just kind of fried at the moment. Oils intimidate me, lol. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They're surprisingly forgiving, honestly. Oil paints are, I think, the most forgiving and easiest paint out of all of them. I know at the moment Des will say otherwise, but no, I really do. They are. So I wouldn't worry about it. The only thing, okay, so the biggest points I would like pointers I would give to anybody getting into oils, right, is first safety, right? There's some safety issues. First of all, there's safety issues with all paint, but oil paints has their own unique safety issues. I'm happy to talk about those in just a minute because I feel like sometimes people don't know about them sometimes. So yeah, happy to talk about that. Um, yeah, don't eat the paint, exactly. And then um, the other issue is getting the right materials, the right types of brushes, the right types of paint, the right types of surface, and so on. And that some of that I can tell you what to do, and some of that is going to be a dialing in process of like trial and error. And that's just the way it is, kind of thing. All right, so PSAs. Let's start with some PSAs. As Des said, and this is the motto of the channel, don't eat your paint. This goes for oil paints, and honestly, it goes for all paints. Don't eat your paint. A lot of the pigments are toxic, especially if you eat them. Some of them aren't toxic if you touch them, but are if you eat them. Second, your paints are not skin moisturizers. Don't use them like it. You know, don't rub it all over your body. Don't bathe in it. Don't don't do that stuff. Um, the two big things other than that, like a lot of people know that pigments can be toxic. A lot of people are aware of that. A lot of people are also aware of the fact that solvents like turpentine or Gamsol, which is a mineral spirit, I think technically, give off toxic fumes, and they do. So you need to have ventilation. That's a one of the things that people are most worried about is ventilation. Now, here's the thing. You do need ventilation, especially if you use those things. And if you use mediums like Liquin, for instance, which makes your paint dry faster, Liquin has solvent in it. So you have to know what you're painting with to know if you need to have ventilation or not. Having said that, you don't have to paint with solvents. You don't have to paint with anything with solvents in it. And so you can get around that. Gamblin has a page on their website about dedicated to solvent-free painting. I don't necessarily agree with everything there because they're pushing their own stuff there, but the general information there is solid. The other thing, and this is the thing that people are often unaware of, is the fire hazard with oil paints. Yes, Des is touching on this. The fire hazard is spontaneous combustion of the oil. Oil, as it dries, it actually oxidizes, which puts off heat. If you crumple up your your rags and throw it in the trash, it can, if they're really oil soaked, it can trap that heat inside. And then, rags or paper towels have a relatively low flash point and you get fire. That is a serious risk, and places have burnt down. This isn't unique to oil paint, by the way. This is anything that uses oil. Like if you are resurfacing your deck or something, if you're a woodworker, you'd probably know this already. So that is a safety issue. Des already mentioned it, but what you can do, there's a few things you can do to deal with that. You can leave your rags out to dry flat. They shouldn't, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but they shouldn't combust that way. I've never had a painting combust. I don't know of any painter who's had a painting combust, and that's essentially a rag. So I think you're safe with that as long as you leave leave it out flat to dry. But if you can't, like I can't, because like I have cats and they tend to get into things, So the other option is there are special trash cans you can buy for it. And if you can't do that, like Des says, some people put them in like plastic bags, like waste bags, like for dog waste bags or jars. I have a jar full of water and soap, dish soap, and I put all my rags in there, and then like doggy poop bags. Yeah, exactly. I have this. Like I do these things. It has water and soap inside, and so the whole thing's just in water and soap, and then you can take that to your local disposal, center, hazardous disposal, whatever they're called. And yeah, those are the main things. Also, I will add another little thing, because this is something that a lot of people also don't know. Acrylics can off gas as well when they dry, depending on the brand and so on. So acrylics can put off some noxious gases as well. Just be aware of that for your own safety. I mentioned that because the only time I've ever gotten physically ill from fumes when painting was from acrylic paint. But people think it's water based, so it's not there's no concern. So I just mentioned that for I want people to be safe. Yeah, I tried to prime paper with with an acrylic matte. Oh, actually, I don't think it was a matte medium. It was just an acrylic medium. Not the acrylic medium that I currently use, a different one. And oh my God, it made me ill for like a whole day. Like I could, yeah, it was not good. Really not good. And I don't have a good sense of smell, so I didn't even notice it when it was happening. Not that that's always a good indicator. Gamsol is odorless, and that gives off fumes. Although Gamsol is probably the safest solvent you can probably get, as far as I know, at least. But yeah, you don't have to use solvents in your painting process either if you don't want to. If you're like, I don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. So that's my spiel. The other advice I'd give to anyone who's getting into oil painting is don't use watercolor brushes. Make sure your brushes are a little stiffer. You can you can totally use synthetic brushes. You do not need to use natural hair brushes, but just you have to get synthetics that are just a little bit stiffer than the watercolor ones. Um, that is one of the main things I will say, because that was something that tripped me up a lot, was not having the right brushes. So what happened was I didn't have the right brushes, and because I didn't have the right brushes, I had to compensate for how soft my brushes were, because I couldn't move the paint around um, because my brushes were too soft. So in order to compensate, I would just pile on the solvent to just like dilute to make, and that's not how you don't want to paint with super diluted paint, unless you do, but generally you don't. That says, oh, and my high school art teacher told us not to use the brush for oils that you've used for acrylic paint. So he made us uh, put colored tape around the brushes to make sure. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I'm not sure what the big issue with that would be, but I mean, sure. You have two sets. That's fair. There probably is something there. I just don't know what it is, but it's all good. Can't hurt. That's for sure. Definitely can't hurt. Yeah. There's a bunch of other aspect of things. Unfortunately, oil painting, I will say this, maybe I might be wrong about this because I haven't deep dived into acrylics, so I might be wrong about this, but I do think that oil paints might have a little bit of a like higher learning curve or entry, because like you also have to be cautious of like, you know, you want to make sure that you stick to fat over lean, and you need to learn how to like do that stuff and which mediums and so on. I feel like there might be just a slight like entry level learning curve in the beginning that um you know I'm past it, so it's hard for me to remember what that felt like necessarily. Um but like I said, I don't know, maybe acrylics have just as much, because I haven't done a deep dive into them, and I don't want it to sound like I'm saying like, oh, they're so much simpler. But yeah. There's a great video I shared on my Discord from a painter who I really like, and she goes into all the like all the basics of oil painting, all the like not on how to like not so much on like how to paint, but like the materials and what to be careful of and all of that stuff. Um, let me grab that and share it. Yeah, 1 second. Um, let me see where I posted it. Oof. Uh, Probably a while ago. Oh, here we. Nope, that's not it. Um, Here we go. Copy link. Here we go. Yeah, that's a great video for anyone who wants to like get into oil painting, wants to go over some of the basics. It's a little long, unfortunately, but it's really good information, and she's a great painter. Um, Julia Julia Beck. I can never. I'm bad with names, but yeah, she's a great painter. She teaches at a university. She's really good. That is uh, right, but maybe I'll leave it. We'll see. Can always paint over it. Oh yeah, she does a lot of online tutorials. You've got her saved? Yes, she does. And she is really, really good. She is a really good painter. And her tutorials are great. And, you know, everyone's different in like the way people paint. Everyone's different. There's some things that she does in her paintings where I'm just like, it's so good. I don't know that I'd ever be able to like replicate it or paint like her or want to for that matter, but it's so good. And that's definitely one of those things you know, distinguish between like what is it you enjoy doing and what is it you enjoy looking at. But yeah, she's so good. She what the thing that kills me about her is how clean of a painter she is. Like when she does all these she does a lot of still lifes and she goes in and does all these, you know, you see her do all the brush strokes and her brushes are clean and tight. And she goes in and just like lays down the color so neat and perfect and just like, that's impressive. I need to clean up my palette. It's too much of my paint on my palette is dry. Yeah, the face changed a lot since what's it called? Since I went in darker, but it's all good. Now I'll have to model it back out and try and keep this, this roughly this value. Roughly. That's so funny. She looks so funny right now. I think it's very funny the way paintings have to go through that like ugly stage a lot of times. Like right now, this is a joke. All right, we're starting to get some of the structure back. Actually, now that I think about it, I should probably reach out uh Julie and see if she's going to be at the Portrait Society this year. At the Portrait Society convention. It'd be great to meet her in person. So Julie Becker, is it? Bad with names. I got to talk to her a bit online because we both won a competition together that we both entered. We didn't win it together. We both won. You know, so we talked online a little bit, and she's really nice, really sweet. But I would be totally overstepping to claim that we're friends or anything like that. But it'd be great to meet her in person. All right, let's see what this looks like black and white now. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Might need to bring down the shirt some more, and they'll probably make me bring down her skin tones as well. That's cool. Her skirt's just so dark. All right. I am getting close to being done with the stream for tonight. Before I go, I want to tell everybody I stream both on YouTube and Twitch. I stream Monday night, Monday night, Wednesday night, Sunday day, Texas time, just Texas time zone. Um, I should have links to all my stuff in the description of wherever you're watching this. I have a Discord. I don't know what else to say. I'm tired. Um, Thanks everybody who stops by. I really appreciate it. Working on getting out actual like content. It's a process, but I'm working towards it. So stick around, subscribe. Let's see if we can get to 300 subscribers, That'd be cool. But yeah, thanks everyone who stops by. Thumbs up, people. Thanks. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm out of it today. Zombie person. That's what I feel like. Um, yeah, Discord's a cool place. My Discord sucks, but it's a good place to hang out. It sucks because I'm not like good at making Discords or anything like that, Like some people like make really snazzy Discords. Mine's like super basic. But you can talk, you can post, you can ask questions. I even have a feedback corner if anyone wants to get feedback on their paintings from me. Uh, you know. Yeah. Trying to get her skin tone, trying to get the shadows down even darker and still make it look, right, which is so challenging because she does not have dark skin at all. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I got for today. I'll be back on Sunday for sure. And yeah, that's all. I don't know. This one's gonna take some work. I might stream it. I might do a impromptu stream to finish this painting because like some of these colors are just off. They're gonna be off on a like what's it called? Because it's low key. There's just no way for me to not make the colors be off. But yeah. Let's actually, before I go, let me just key in some of this here for myself. There we go. So just putting this out there. So I was having a hard time like getting the shirt as dark as I needed it to be for the color key that I'm trying to hit. Yeah. So just doing this gives me much better perspective on it. Because now everything just like her shirt looks so light now in comparison, right? Like it's ridiculous. So sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah, that makes such a big difference. There we go. I'm gonna have to go in and like fix all the forms here and everything, but yeah, this totally changes the look of it. It gives me the perspective I need to go in and paint it the right value. All right. That'll be for next painting session though. I'm too tired to keep going. No cats tonight, unfortunately. Cats on Sunday, probably. All right. Have a good one, everybody.